When we've been looking at marketing for the other sections, we've been assuming that you're selling to the customer, that the customer is the consumer. But sometimes businesses aren't marketing to consumers, they're marketing to other businesses. And this is when we're looking at kind of capital products, so products that are sold to produce other products, so maybe very specialist machinery, or they're selling, they're a business that sell on a raw material that's used in the production of making the final product. So we need to look at industrial marketing, what industrial marketing actually is, and how it differs from consumer marketing. This section, the role and importance of the purchasing department, is actually from the ops part of the course, but it's the other side of the same coin. So I tend to teach students at this point because it makes sense to. So what is industrial marketing? It's business-to-business marketing, and it's the marketing of goods and services from one business to another. So you're either selling producer or capital goods, as I said before, or selling the raw materials needed to make these consumer goods. So remember, right from the beginning of the course, we had the difference between consumer goods and producer goods. And sometimes they can be the same thing. So sometimes I go to the shop to buy pens because I need some pens at home, but also businesses buy pens as well. So it's not necessarily the product that's different, it's their use or who's buying it that makes it a producer good or a consumer good. So when we're comparing it to B2B, let's type in a few notes here. Like that. Okay, so the type of buyer with B2B, it's usually person that is maybe making an emotional purchase. They don't really need to consult anyone before they purchase it, and if they like the look at it, they'll purchase it. Whereas with B2B, it's usually a rational, trained buyer, a professional buyer. So they might have gone on an acquisition course or a purchases course, and they might be skilled in negotiating prices, and they're also going to weigh up the costs and the benefits of purchasing it. They're not just going to buy it on a whim. The number of customers in B2C markets tend to be lots and lots of different types of customers, whereas there tends to be fewer customers in B2B. So there are fewer shops than there are people in the world, and there are fewer businesses that would want to buy very specialised machinery than there are people in the world. So there'll be many fewer businesses. And B2C, really all of them, it depends on the product. For the factors that are the marketing mix that are really important. And again, it's sort of a cop-out really, but it depends on the product. But if you're buying, some kind of, can't spell, if you're buying kind of machinery, price will come into it, but it's probably the quality and reliability that are going to be more important, and maybe the aftercare as well for the product. And are they going to help you if you have training needs, and are they going to help you if you need some support with it, or if you have some problems or breakdowns? But if you're buying kind of the raw materials, you might want kind of bulk to buy in bulk. It may make a difference the size of the discount they're going to give you for buying in bulk amounts, and also the delivery time might be very, very important. So it's more like operational things that are important to you there, rather than necessarily like the packaging. Which packaging can be really important to consumers and consumer markets. Whereas I'm in an office at the moment and I'm looking like a stack of paper, and it's not got fancy packaging on it. It's just in like a cardboard box. It doesn't really matter what the packaging is as long as it keeps it safe. So this was a industrial marketing question. And it was about a business that sells pallets. And sometimes in Welsh Board, when they've got a question where they think maybe you might not know what a pallet is, they give you a picture of a pallet. But this, obviously, you don't buy pallets for yourself, unless you're doing something fun with your garden. You can make fun stuff, apparently, with pallets, but most people don't buy pallets. Businesses buy pallets. And here it says... very concerned about losing a number of contracts to competitors in recent months and the failure of the company's sales team to generate any new orders. There was no doubt that trying to market pallets to the transport industry during an economic downturn was proving to be very difficult indeed. In an attempt to give the sales team a boost, she decided to call in an industrial marketing consultant to give her team expert advice on industrial marketing. Can you guess what the question is going to be? Industrial marketing methods. She hoped this advice would help achieve the increase in sales the company so badly needed. So, what is the question? Here it is. Analyse the possible methods that the members of the sales team might adopt when selling their products to industrial customers. So, we can see, because if we go back to here, there's fewer customers, you need a very finely targeted approach and honing in on the few people in the organisation whose responsibility it is to purchase the goods and services from the outside. So you want to know their names, you want to have a direct dial number for them, you want to be able to persuade them directly. It's not aimed at focusing looking at a mass market, so no TV advertisements. Might find that trade fairs and exhibitions are very, very useful to establish and build up these contacts. And obviously, people coming to a trade fair and exhibition, it's kind of captive audience. They've come and they know what they're coming to look at, or the type of industry they're coming to look at. You may have more reliance on personal selling, so sales personnel doing one-to-one selling and building a relationship and doing that price negotiation. And you may find trade magazines or journals will be useful. So looking at the other side of it is who these industrial marketers are actually selling to, the purchasers on the purchasing side. And here we have Tesco and somebody who works in the corporate purchasing department. So tracking every penny and all of those types of things. You can kind of read this in your own time. And I've actually forgotten what that YouTube is a link to at Tesco, but you can have a look at that. So purchasing department, usually the questions about the benefits of having a purchasing department. So what's the benefit of having someone who just deals with buying the things that your business needs? Well, hopefully they can search for the most competitive price and they can reduce your costs of production, so that would be very beneficial to you and maybe increase your profit margins. Hopefully they can negotiate bulk buying discounts, maybe they can put the orders in all at the same time. Is my computer freezing? Nope, seems okay. Oh, I think it's gonna freeze. No, it's fine. It's just temperamental. There we go. I think it seems to be having its temperamental phase. So hopefully they can negotiate discounts for you as well. So bulk buying, purchasing economies of scale. When the orders arrive, they can check the orders, they can check the quality, they can send them back if they're not what was specified, because obviously these industrial marketers are going to want to develop really close relationships with them, so they're going to go out of their way to keep the purchasing department happy. They'll manage the orders and the stock levels, so they'll order when the stock levels get low, and obviously we're going to gain, as we said before, from those economies of scale, so lower unit costs. So knowing what industrial marketing is, knowing how it differs from consumer marketing, and explaining the role and importance of a purchasing department to a business is very important.